Recording.
Do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Get myself a little more in there.
We went and saw Sex Tape. I was trying to figure out how to text Brian earlier. I'm like, so I guess you're watching Sex Tape with no. So I guess we're doing no. I guess we are going to see the movie, quotation marks, Sex Tape, end quotation marks, at the cinema tonight.
Yeah, that's kind of an awkward one to fit into. What the hell is all over your arm?
Oh, this is the credit? These are the previews?
Oh.
Yeah, we'll get to these later.
You decided to have, like, Bible quotes on your arm suddenly. Like,
I don't know how those got there. That's because every time when in these videos, it's like, well, time to do the previews. Bye! So when I actually have a pen on me, I've started writing them down.
So, yeah, Sex Tape. It was an hour-and-a-half movie.
It sure was.
It was possibly the most non-threatening comedy I've seen in a while.
Which is weird, because it had, like, just all of Cameron Diaz's butt.
Okay, yeah, a selling point that they have for this movie is like, it's like, finally, guys, after all these years,
Cameron Diaz is showing her butt to people.
She goes nude, and it's like, ooh, nude. It's like you see her butt for like 12 seconds.
12 seconds all told, because like every time she's naked, she's like about-faced, and they make kind of a big deal about it. Like Jason Segel's like, the thing I love most about my wife is her butt, which is handy because it means that you as the cinema goer do not see the front of her.
By the way, you see his butt like constantly.
Dude got in shape since last thing I saw him naked in was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he was a little dumpy in that. But he's not ripped, but he's like tall guy fit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he looks like a guy who's trying to look like he's not trying too hard to be working out. But at the same time, it has left his face a little,
He looked a little haggard. But I couldn't tell if that was on purpose, because the dude's supposed to be having a rough day.
Yeah, this movie is a much smaller scale ordeal than what the trailers kind of make it out to be.
Oh, I was dreading this movie.
The trailers make it out to be like, oh no, we uploaded it to everyone we know. Now all of our friends and family, like they make it sound like fucking hundreds of people.
Like everyone has their sex tape and they have to track it all down.
Oh no.
And like I hate embarrassing comedies like that. Like objectively good embarrassing comedies I won't watch except like this, humming softly to myself so I don't actually hear any of it. So I flat out told Brad I'm probably not a good person to send to this because I'm gonna hate it no matter what. And so it was kind of gratifying when I looked at Rotten Tomatoes. It's like, oh, it's only getting like 20%. It's terrible anyway. It's gonna be okay that I hate it. But it wasn't actually that bad. It was just kind of like a nothing little movie.
It's not a 20% movie. I wouldn't go any higher than like I wouldn't break 50% on this thing, but it's not 20%.
No.
I've seen fucking 20% movies. This is not those.
No,
these are not
like,
they.
It's rich white people problems, because it's this couple, right?
Oh my god, it could not be a richer, whiter problem either.
Well, he's got one of those like generically interesting jobs that dudes have in movies like this anymore.
Does music.
He goes to concerts for a job
means.
And like has CDs that he brings home from work. Maybe he's like a music reviewer or something.
I don't know.
And then
they never actually say what his job is.
Just that he goes to concerts. He had the same job as Paul Rudd in
He does music, all right?
Yeah,
he does music.
And she's a stay-at-home mom with Mommy Blog. That's some toy company is looking to like syndicate her. I don't really know how blogs work, but they're buying her blog for dollars money. So like to celebrate because they haven't had sex in like forever. They decide to stay at home and they're gonna do it, and it doesn't go well because they haven't had sex in so long that it's just like it's not cohesively uniting, and so they decide, well, we're gonna do some tequila.
Have we forgotten how to have sex? conversation.
Kind of like, oh. So, Tequila, and she decides to use his brand new iPad, which has amazing camera capabilities and sync technologies and, like, all the megapixels, to take a sex tape. So they decide that they're going to... This movie is sponsored by Apple, I'm sure. We'll get into that in a second.
Brought to you by Apple.
Yeah, like, it's just like every scene has, like, someone doing
Think
something on their
differently.
iPad, or, like, Rob Lowe's got, like, his fireplace remote control in his iPad. So anyway, they're gonna go through the joy of sex and do every position in the joy of sex and take a video of it. And she's like, delete it, and he's like, okay, but turns out he's got an app that syncs it to not only all of their iPads, because they've got several, but all of his old iPads, which he's gifted to friends, because apparently he, like, buys one every year.
He buys 2 at a time.
Yeah, he went
And
into
then
it during his iPad spiel.
He buys, like, 2 iPads at a time.
Because they're so affordable.
Yeah, I mean, they just... Fuck, they're nothing, right? And then, like, syncs up, like, playlists on them.
He gives them to his friends, and then his
And then
playlist will sync up their playlist, so it's like he's giving them
And then-
updating music.
And then when he's done with that one, and he's like, oh man, I need a new iPad, then he just literally takes the old one and just says, like, here, I don't know, you take this, the mailman, or you take this, like, my in-laws. Like, he just gives them to people. Like, oh yeah, there's those friends of ours. Yeah, we should just give them one. Like, fuck, I don't need that.
So,
Just give it away.
boop, their sex tape goes
Which-
onto all the iPads
oh my
they've
god,
given out to
white
people.
fucking problems. Fucking goddamn first world problems
Well, there was
here.
no real conflict, because, yeah, it would suck if their sex tape got out, but he's still making $5 million. They still live in, like, this palatial estate in the Hollywood Hills. It's just her mommy blog wouldn't get bought, boo hiss. So they decided to just, like, run out into the dark and try to track down all these iPads, because, oh no, she gave one to the CEO of the toy company as, like, a parting gift. I don't know.
Because CEO of a company that's trying to buy
Oh,
her out.
sweet! Free used iPad!
Yeah, I bet he doesn't have access to one of those iPads.
I think the way that they said it was that, like, she
Like,
put her
yeah, she
presentation on it.
Put,
Like,
yeah, a presentation on it, like,
instead
like, here,
of a portfolio,
just keep this
here's an
fucking
iPad.
thing.
Keep the change.
It's like, bullshit, seen it, trash can. Like, what the fuck's he gonna do with it? It's like, oh,
Just put in the paper shredder.
an iPad from 2 models back. Thank you. I'll give that to a homeless person.
Use it to prop up your new iPad, which has all the more megapixels.
But yeah, it's such a stupid problem. But again, like I mentioned from the trailer, makes it seem like hundreds of fucking people have access to this video.
It's like 7.
Yeah, he's given away like 5 of them. It's not like it's some big goddamn, like going to the 4 fucking corners of the earth. Like, it's like, oh, that iPad? No, I didn't need it, so I gave it to my boss's friend. Like, oh no, now we need to find the boss's friend. Hey, boss's friend, we need to get into your house, like in some bizarre scheme. Like,
they
oh
were
no,
lucky that-
I sold it to a pawn shop. Who knows who has it now? Tracking it through GPS. Like, none of that. They're like,
I'm just describing
okay.
the plot of Mom's Night Out. You weren't there for that one, but it was basically like tracking down stuff.
But yeah, this one is like, it's like, fuck, who did I give those to? Okay, my best friend has one, the mailman has one, I gave one to your mom.
Our kid has one,
Our
oh no!
kid has one.
Take, throw, that's that problem solved.
We gave that one to your boss. That's it. That's all of them. That is fucking all of them. Half of them they round up in the first 5 minutes of realizing there's a problem. It's like, oh, hey, son, you have that iPad, right? Like, yeah. Tosses it out a window. Problem 6 there. 1 down.
So they go to Rob Lowe's house, and he's, a super freak, and he's got his Again, like, every time an Apple product showed up this movie, I'm like, okay, here we go. Because it was like, in the later seasons of Bones, they're really, really obviously sponsored by Ford. So every time they get into a Ford vehicle, they're, like, going over all the capabilities, and like, oh, it's got GPS. And so it was like
It's
that
like,
level
Booth, who are you
of
talking
subtlety.
to? Like, really? With the syncing capabilities in this all-new Ford Escape that I bought, it's easier than ever to answer the phone. Here, watch this. I'll just push this button. Boop.
Oh, so
Hey,
you've seen
Chief.
those episodes.
Oh, yeah, I saw a couple of those before I stopped watching.
Look on YouTube, they're amazing. But anyway, it's like that. So Rob Lowe's got his iPhone that he's like
They're
turning up the
constantly
music
selling
on and
shit.
turning on the fireplace and like telling Siri to do stuff.
Well, fuck, I think when like that chick came in, like, it's like, oh, hey, Jason Segel's character, here are these 2 new iPads you ordered. Ah, thanks.
I've
New
been
iPads?
waiting forever for these.
I mean, it's like, why would you get new iPads? Like, oh man, the storage capabilities, like the increased screen resolution, the
syncing capabilities.
the HD camera on this thing. I mean, really, it has everything you'll ever need. I mean, it's like, it's shit like that. It's like, fuck off with that already.
And like some of the iPads had like those special kind of magnetic-y screen covers, and one of them was like a little leather billfold. Like it's got pretty sweet accessories too, Brian.
The one that they took from the kid, I forgot about this. They throw it out the window. Like a couple scenes later, they're leaving their house,
and
he goes outside. He picks up. He's looking at us like,
so durable.
It's perfectly fine. Like the construction on these is amazing. I'm like, fuck you. Just stop trying to sell me a fucking iPad for 5 minutes and be a fucking movie.
But like the nice thing about this movie is like when it had dead spots or spots where I wasn't laughing at it or with it, there was this lady in the front row who, like half of the time when the audience was laughing, they were laughing at her because her laugh. Could you recreate? It was kind of like a. So that was
a couple times she actually did that.
So she was having
She did
fun.
that. Oh yeah, no, she was loving it as well. Were the row of 20 middle-aged housewives who came out
Jesus,
to the movies.
we sat down in the theater like it was kind of like catty corner to some bitches behind us. I figured, we're not directly behind them, so if they're chatting, we're not going to bug us. And then minutes later, this bevy of bitches just strolls in, and she's like, "Oh, girl!" And then, "Oh my God, it's
A bevy of bitches.
So it's like, Brian, you have a hard time hearing sometimes in these movies. Perhaps we shall move over here, like a little stage play in an act. So if they're
She does that. I'm like,
they don't think that I'm rude.
like, no,
Fly along.
I'm fine. Then she started walking away. I'm like, here's them moving.
Bye, bitches. So anyway, she does cocaine with Rob Lowe. That was a weird addition to this movie. It was like
it's like they tried to make him on par with like Tom Cruise's character from Tropic Thunder.
Mm-hmm. Or like
because like he's like this like fucking milk toast. Yeah, it's like he's like this milk toast kind of like just really boring like white guy.
When we first walked in the first scene, we were like, "Oh my God, they made Rob Lowe out of marzipan."
Like he looks
he's
like
just so shiny and pressed.
he looks like fucking plastic. He looks like a Ken doll recreation of Stephen King.
Mm-hmm. He smelled like this. So they go over to his house, like,
and of course he's
friend
crazy.
Ellie. Their friends Ellie Klemper and
Rob Corddry.
Rob Corddry are like coming with for the ride because it's their anniversary and they're bored. Plus, they really wanted to see the sex tape, which I thought was kind of funny. But so Ellie Klemper's sister's the florist of Rob Lowe. I don't know why she knows that. Why she's got like her sister's client list in her brain. But so they find out where Rob Lowe's address is.
If that wasn't the case, the movie wouldn't go anywhere.
Well, presumably he would have watched it and been like, "Ew, that's kind of hot," because the guy's a fucking freak, and that would have been the end of it. But so she goes in, she distracts him by doing blow and listening to Slayer, and he goes upstairs and almost murders a dog a couple times because it's a guard dog that can like open doors, Maximus from Tangled style. And just kind of like hunting him around the house. It's just like these kind of random little hijinks that kind of felt like they were going to be embarrassing, but then just kind of ended.
Yeah, it was like these odd little like setups for like it's like, oh no, now the dog's chasing him through this room. Oh no, the dog's chasing him into this room, and then he like hits it with a book and it just like falls down. It's like, oh no, I killed the dog, and then he just jumps back up. It's like, nah, close the door. It just kept doing that, but
Siri, how do you give CPR to a dog?
But the one thing that kept my attention throughout that whole bit was just the fact that throughout Rob Lowe's house, he has all these weird paintings of scenes from classic Disney movies.
Just like with his
but
face
with his
inserted.
face painted over the actual character's face. So,
Like, this is me, as Rafiki, holding Simba out to the animals of the Pride Land.
yeah.
And then they walk past him as
the
Geppetto.
fucking, like, the picture, like, you know, like the one you think of, you know, the
Ha,
fucking Rafiki
Svenja,
holding him up there.
Simba.
Except then it's like the big fur ruffle around, you know, his head, and then Rob Lowe's face.
And not well painted, like Etsy painted. I shouldn't say that. There's good stuff. Like the Etsy that you're picturing, that painted.
Like when you say, like, oh,
Etsy.
that Etsy.
Regretsy.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Regretsy painted. So yeah, they get the iPad back from Rob Lowe, and then
Turns out it was right next to the front door the whole time.
Womp
Zing!
womp. The way they finally got it was that Ellie Kemper and Rob Corddry got sick of waiting in the car, came to the door, and they're like, "Hello, I am the mayor. Not of here, but of Thousand Oaks. We're collecting for a charity. Not money, though. Used iPads." Rob looked like, "Oh, I gotta use iPad right here. Bye." Like, well, that's the end of that hijink.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why their plan had to be any more complicated than walk up to the door and be like, "Hey, Rob Lowe, how's it going? Hey, you know that iPad that I gave you the other day with my presentation on it? Turns out I forgot something that I needed on it. Can I borrow it for like 5 goddamn seconds?"
Well, couldn't you just use the syncing capabilities of the iPad to get sync on it from your home computer?
God damn it, just give it to me.
Pop. No problem punching his dog, just punch him.
And you pop him in the nose so it'll go away.
So this whole time, Jason Segel's been getting text messages from a mystery text message, and it's all like, "Hey, it's like a sex tape, lol, XOXO, winky face," and it turns out that they're trying to figure out like who might have their sex tape that would be sending these texts, and it turns out it's Rob Corddry and Ellie Kemper's 5th grade son.
Who's a son of a bitch.
Which is creepy and weird.
That kid seems like he would be a son of a bitch in real life.
Yeah.
He's the sort of kid that, like, you just want to fucking hit him. It's like,
He's like they call him Howie in the first couple scenes, and he's like, no, it's Howard.
it's like, well,
Oh, you little
fuck
shit.
you, you're 10. Fuck you.
This movie had like a
Fuck
weirdly
you.
bad opinion about preteen boys, because that kid was a fucker, and like the main character's son was kind of a fucker too.
Yeah.
Like, "Father, don't condescend to me. I'm late for school." Who talks like that? Were you a fucker at that age?
No.
I beg your pardon, it's Brian.
When I was that age, it was
Whatever, B-Lou.
when I was that age, it was like 1993, and we didn't have sarcasm and sass back then.
Oh no, it was before sass was invented. We did have the almighty sulk, though.
And whippins. I didn't want a whippin', so
Whoopin'.
can't do that now.
Pretty sure you couldn't do it then.
You're pretty sure
just
people
saying.
didn't care then. But yeah,
A
it's,
window into Brian's childhood.
but no, it's just it's stupid. Like,
Sorry, hang on. Something Slaver Brian. Whoopin'. Proceed. You know all about the whoopins? I got nothing. I felt like it should go there, though.
I'm gonna let you keep thinking about this. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, Rob Corddry's bastard little kid is apparently the one who has it, and he tries blackmailing them for $25,000
So he can buy a horse for his bitches.
horse. Which I don't know what part of that made any sense to this kid when he was thinking it up, or maybe it made all the sense because he's a 10-year-old, and that's the sort of thing that like makes absolutely perfect sense. Like, people just have bags of goddamn money laying around.
Apparently they
right?
did, because they paid off Jack Black later.
Oh, yeah. As a contingency plan to make sure that he pays up immediately on 25 Large.
He's uploaded it to YouPorn. And apparently no one can take something off of YouPorn except the original uploader. So they decide
Or
to
you could,
break
like-
into the YouPorn building and
Yeah.
smash their servers.
They find a location on the website, which I'm just sure that
Yeah,
like,
contact us at the location where all our servers are hidden.
yeah, I'm sure that you can just go on there and find the corporate office for where they have like their mainframe set up. But whatever. So they just decide to drive there and like
With their children.
Yeah,
Because
with
they've
their
run out of
kids.
babysitters.
the one they had.
Just their mom over and over again. Honey, is everything okay? Yes, Mom, shut up.
Well, okay.
Nothing about porn.
And yeah, they decide to go there and just break the servers. Is their thoughts? And
They've got baseball bats. Their tiny, adorable daughter has a crowbar. Like, yay, we're going on an adventure. Why does Mommy keep saying you poured loudly and in my presence?
yeah, like they're trying to like shield their kids from knowing what's going on, but they have no problem freely parading around what the name of the website is, after also showing Jason Segel earlier like trolling around on it to see exactly what kind of videos there are on there. I mean,
Turns out porn.
well, this movie does for YouPorn what like Don John did for Pornhub. Like I don't know, like they got a fucking like sponsorship deal on this thing.
Maybe they're a subsidiary of Apple.
Like, I swear to fucking God, like, when this thing comes out, the DVD case is gonna look like a fucking NASCAR.
Buzzing.
Gotcha! Zingers! I'm all about that tonight.
Busted chops, ask anybody.
Double finger guns. But yeah, they go there and get confronted by Jack Black, who apparently runs YouPorn.
Jack Black, his porn star wife, and two gigantic black men with tiny yipping dogs on leashes is apparently the entirety of his security system.
And it
So
makes
they're like,
sense
we're gonna
that
beat you
they're-
up, we're gonna call the cops, we're gonna beat you up and call the cops.
Well,
And they're
after
like,
they proceed to
"Please?"
name off the name of every major porn site on the
They
internet.
did that for the Linorama on the DVD. You know they did.
Oh, yeah,
There
no.
was no point to that scene.
No, I'm sure that keeps going on for like 5 minutes of him mentioning everything. I was like,
Like, who sent you? Was it Hustler? Was it Big Butts, Black Boobs? I can't remember any of them. None of them were outstanding in their field.
well, that's because like they're all the names of like actual sites.
Or
Like,
were they really? I thought they were making up, like, the Happy Scrappy Hero Puff scene.
no, it was like Bang Bros and Bang Bus, Reality Kings, and they're all sites that I've heard of on the internet.
Passing. I'm stuck on Bang Bus because all I can figure is just, like, drive a bus and bang on it.
No. They drive a bus around public areas while people are fucking in the back.
That's what I said.
And
Drive a
by
and
bus,
bang
I
on it.
mean van.
Bang van. Venereal van.
Doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
Van JJ?
No. Vangina monologues. Was that where this was going?
Yes. I have a vangina. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
But yeah, and turns out like, oh man, if you had just sent an email to the guy who runs the site and said like, hey, there's gonna be a video of me on there, don't post it, he would have just not done that.
Yeah, that came up a lot too, because like earlier when the kid was trying to hustle him for $25K, he's like, he could have just remotely wiped all these iPads, and Jason Segel's like, what really? Okay. And then the movie just
It
continued.
seems baffling
Like,
that
the
he
movie
was,
seemed intent on proving that there was no point to the things that were happening.
yeah, well, it's crazy that he doesn't like that wouldn't be something that he knows about as much like
He's too busy doing music for a living.
technology stuff. At one point, he's literally sitting at his desk, and in front of him, in size order, is his iPhone, iPad, his what's
It's like a
I don't know what the fuck the I can give a shit.
Are they iMac still?
The fucking Apple laptop and then like the actual big desktop all in one. It's like he has them all like boop 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 boop.
Yeah, so you can like, oh no, it's on this. Oh no, it's on this. Oh no, it's on this. Oh no.
It's like, oh no, when I keep checking
Sight gag.
my one shared iTunes account, it's on all of them. I don't know how this could ever be fucking possible. It's like, oh man, when I check my email on my Windows phone, it's the same as when I check my email on my laptop or on my desktop, or if I go to work and then sign into my email from there.
These people don't know anything about technology. Hell, when that kid came to them, he's like, I deleted all copies of your sex tape, except the one I specifically put on this thumb drive so I could hand it over to you in person.
Well, that's the thing, though, about, like shit like this where we live in an age where you can just save something. Like, it takes away the whole, like, physical copy thing. Like if you think back, like, you know, it's like, all right, where's the tape? Bam, giant VHS tape. Like, this is the last one there is. Good. Breaks it. Like, you don't have that as, like, it's like, where's the file? It's like, oh, I deleted it. Like,
Good.
I'll trust that you did because I have zero way of proving that ever.
So yeah, they get the thumb drive and then they watch it and they're horrified because
It's a terrible tape.
it is. It's just, you know, it's just two people fucking. It's not two people fucking under lights being directed and sprayed with, you know, glycerin.
Well, I mean, technically it is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
It's all of those things exactly.
but you know, done in those ways to make it seem unflattering rather than to.
Well, no, but what I mean more by it being a terrible tape is like instead of deciding to use like a static angle or like finding a couple like key positions around the room to prop it up in.
That's a point. It was a lot of POV shots of like legs.
It wasn't even that it was like POV shot. It was like they were just doing like cameo shots of themselves, like just like a tight zoom on like you know, like, oh, I'm going like this, so obviously you can tell that I'm fucking. Yep, totally fucking.
Couple more.
It's like, ooh.
I'm back.
But yeah, that's what like every shot was. It was like no, I can really tell what's happening here. Bravo, this is titillating.
Like, yeah, that scene where Jason Segel does like a handstand with his ass to the camera, and she comes over. You know, these are his legs. She comes over and she's like, "Well, here I go, bloop." This is not a sex tape. This is just a static shot of a man's ass while something is happening in this general vicinity.
There's like a 5-minute scene of him just. He's like wearing like a sash over his dick.
Singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." The entire they played the whole thing. They fast forward a little bit, but you know, not enough to make me not have had to hear most of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Which, I mean, that's the sort of thing is like, even if they had uploaded it to that site, it would have probably got like voted down so quick. Like anybody going on there would be like, oh man, this has like a 2 out of like 10 star rating. Well, I'm not gonna fucking watch that.
Well, like Ellie Kemper and Rob Corddry kept going on about, you know, oh, it's so hot, we couldn't help but just fuck in the car because we watched part of it. But it was, you know, like...
It put us in an insatiable lust that we had to bang in your car while we knew that you were right
just like
nearby.
right there they were standing. So, like, the whole thing has been culminating in their kids' 4th and 5th grade graduation, respectively. And their son has made, like, a video for the... Oh, he died. Their son has made a video for the yearbook.
Killed in the cut. Who knows who did it?
Playing Green Day's The Time of Our Lives.
It's like the only song you can play at a graduation.
That song predates that kid by at least a couple years.
Yeah.
So, the kid's like queuing up to set up the tape and to set up the video. He's like, oh no, which one should I pick? And so Jason Segel jumps off of the balcony to get at it and clicks on the right button and starts playing Hope You Had the Time of Your Life. Because none of this movie has a point.
Yeah, the trailer leads you to believe they're like, oh no, they played the sex tape at like the graduation. No, they don't.
An elementary school graduation. This would have been a completely different sort of movie if that had happened.
Yes, it would have been the kind that ends with him going to jail. Her too.
Mm-hmm.
But what's funny is...
As a fifth grader still saw it.
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
But what's kind of funny is, and this is an early plot point in...
Jared? Oh no, just other random loud guy.
Loud guy out there talking
Whenever
about
I hear a
Grimlock.
really loud guy, I just kind of assume it's Jared.
But, no, like, early in the film, there's a plot point based around, Jason Segel, like, yelling at his kid, like, hey, Dad, I just finished my graduation thing to show at the thing. He's like, that's great, son. Save it as something other than just video 1. Because he just put his default
Don't
video
condescend to me, Father.
Like,
I'm late for school.
It's like, I'll leave it as video 1. It's fine.
Fucking
He's like, change the goddamn file name. He's like, it's like, no. But then at the end of the movie, when some other kid is like, is it, like
video
trying
one or movie one?
Trying to figure out, which one is the one he should be playing. Jason Segel, like, he left his sex tape as just titled Movie 1. You did the same thing you just bawled your kid out for doing the day, literally, not even the day before, the morning of this same happening.
This is an excellent point.
It's like, you know what? It's your fucking fault, too. If he titled it something else, never would have fucking happened.
So all's well that ends well, the end.
But, yeah, they
smashed the thumb drive with a hammer, and then set fire to the pieces, and then bury the...
they also put it in a blender.
Blended it, put the scorched blended pieces into a hole in the ground and buried it. Technology. The cloud. They mentioned the cloud like 20 times.
They were making jokes about that as though that were a new thing that were just announced like the other day. Is like there's a thing called the cloud.
This newfangled cloud that
it's like,
kids are talking about.
It's a cloud. It's like... I'm sorry, like, this is the sort of joke that, like, people would have made, like, 20 years ago. This is, like, concerning, like, cell phones or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seemed like this would have been great stand-up material 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
As it is now, it's just... I mean, it would have been great if you would have followed it up with a little bit about airline food.
Tell me about it.
And the DMV. Hold up. But, yeah, I mean, it's just... I don't know. Some of the jokes were just really, like, poorly timed. Like not like the timing of the joke was bad, but just like in a general sense, it seemed like this movie would have played a lot better a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, who gives a fuck about an iPad? Like, literally, I got it. Like, and I'm not just saying that like Apple, meh. But no, like, literally, like tablets are like a fucking dime a dozen anymore.
Well, yeah, you can just give your used ones away to your friends.
I got a thing in the fucking mail the other day from Dell. Like, hey, if you buy almost literally anything, we will just give you a tablet for free.
Buy a mouse pad.
And I still am like, I just don't even care. I don't give a shit. I don't even need one. And so it's like them acting like these things are like made out of fucking gold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seemed like oddly timed. Like this movie should have come out like at least like a year or two ago.
For me, movies like this are always a little bit dated, just because, first of all, like, they take a while to make, and second of all, people who are writing this movie probably either aren't very good or are doing it but don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Or are trying to do it as if they don't give a shit, because that's who gets hired for this sort of movie.
I can tell you most of the people working on this movie probably didn't give a shit. Yeah, it's like I say, it's very, for what it is and actually being like an R-rated comedy, it's so just grossly inoffensive.
It's tame with nudity.
I mean, even with that, like, the nudity, if you wanted to air this on TV, like, 10 seconds worth of editing and you're nudity free.
You take out the double-sided dildo. Take out the butts. Maybe take out the part where he almost kills a dog.
Even that you can show on TV, that's fine.
Can you really?
Yeah.
That bums me out.
Well, it's the fakest looking dog. They might as well have thrown a fucking stuffed teddy bear at the wall.
Well, I mean, it's like the discrepancy between the violence that's allowed and the sex that's involved.
Yeah. But really the only thing is, like, to constantly remind you that it's an R-rated film.
Well, they do drop the F-bomb a lot.
This movie says fucking more than, I don't know, like something that says fucking a lot, like a Pacino movie in the 80s, or any movie we've made for this site.
Well, Brad tends to switch it up, swear words wise. This movie was just fucking. They, like, the couple actually had a little, like, cutesy little callback to the first time that they had sex, where she goes, "I love fucking you," and he goes, "I fucking love you." Aw, so cute.
Yeah, it's like the little, like, team motto with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's...
I'm hard-pressed to remember any of it. Because I was trying to think of examples of the jokes in this movie when you were going on your dated movie joke diatribe, and I can't remember a single one. I laughed at a couple of them. A couple of, like, I only groaned at a couple. But usually when you see a funny movie that's particularly funny, you remember a couple of the jokes. Like, oh, I like that one, and oh, I like this one. This one is just nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we had waited like an hour and then did the review, I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, I'd have
half
nothing.
of
I'd
this
have
movie.
Cameron Diaz's ass. I'd have that double-sided dildo, because when he threw it to get the dog to try to chase it, it, like, stuck to the curtain, and I'm like, oh, that got put away wet. And that's like it.
You know what the main thing is that I remember about this movie? That all of their furnishings are from Target.
Was it really?
I know this because during the entire, like, them trying to figure out how to have sex part at the beginning, she's, like, carrying around, like, this, like, sort of a houndstooth type, like, burgundy and cream colored throw. It's like, oh, I bought that there, like, on clearance. And the blanket they have on their bed is one of the, like, cotton ones they have with, like, the orange, like, chevrons on it. I was like, man, I really like that one. I should buy that at some point. And then I didn't. I saw that, I'm like, hey! And then I saw the other thing, I'm like, wait, oh, everything in this movie is from fucking Target.
Probably if we sat through the credits with a special thanks to Apple, Target, YouPorn.
Just gotta do like Japanese anime do, like, just at the beginning, like, do the little intro thing and then show all of the companies. Promotional consideration provided by.
Final thoughts?
At some point it'll be on Comedy Central every fucking week.
Don't even bother watching it.
I mean, it's...
Watch Chopped. Chopped is fun.
What's that?
It's that TV show. I haven't watched TV in a little bit, but it's I liked it when I did, And it's a show where basically there's a bunch of people that come on and have like a cooking competition. And in every course, they give them like a basket full of like 5 fucking random ingredients, and they have to make something out of those 5 ingredients. And there's always something weird, like a gigantic gummy bear or like kelp. And so in each course, a person gets voted off. It's fun to watch.
You threw it out there. I assumed,
Funner to watch than this. No,
I assumed it was also a show on Comedy Central.
No.
As I had just mentioned, Comedy Central. It's like, don't even watch this. Watch Chopped. I'm like,
watch Chopped.
What's that about? Comedy series about a chop shop? Trademarked. Can't steal that.
I heard Silicon Valley is supposed to be pretty good. You can watch that. I don't think that's on Comedy Central though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what channel that's on. I think it's on like HBO.
Is it? I don't know. It's got TJ Miller in it, so that's why I care.
But I hear it's Workaholics for grown-ups.
That'd be nice. I tried watching Workaholics, and it was just like I hated all the characters so much.
I love that fucking show.
Although the girl from 22 Jump Street is on that show, apparently. The kind of chubby, prim-faced blonde girl. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, she's great. She's like if Pam from Archer was a person.
I love Pam from Archer. She's my secret lady crush.
But, yeah, see, any of these things we've just been talking about, go watch those and
watch Archer. It's on Netflix now.
It's fucking great. I love that show. I love where they're taking it with Archer Vice.
The first episode, you'd be like, Pam, why does Sarah like this character? And then, like, later you'd be like, I want her so bad.
And she gets all cocaine skinny.
Not even the cocaine skinny. The part where it turns, like, she takes off her shirt and she's got that tattoo on her back.
Oh, yeah. And all the bum fights.
Yes.
But, yeah, I mean, this movie really, it's not worth theater price. It's not even worth rental price. I mean, I guess, like, if you can get it from a fucking buck for, like, you know, from, like, going to, like, Redbox. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Like, if you're in a group of friends, and the general consensus is, let's watch Sex Tape. You don't have to, like, leave the room or anything. It's just, it's not worth voting down. Just,
but you should probably get some better friends. if you're sitting around in a group full of your friends, and the general consensus is, hey guys, let's watch Sex Tape.
It's like, you're hanging out with a group of friends that really wants to watch porn together, but they're too pussy to do so.
It's like, hey guys, let's just watch a sex tape and make fun of it.
I've got previews. My final thought is meh. Was yours meh?
Pretty much.
Okay, we got And So It Goes, which is that one where Michael Douglas is a douchebag.
I feel like I've already seen that movie, but with Jack Nicholson.
We've seen that movie like 5 times with Jack Nicholson. It's Michael Douglas is the douchebag, and then like his long-lost son has a long-lost daughter, and he's got to watch the kid. And
there's something with Greg Kinnear and a dog.
He learns and laughs and loves. Tina Fey family movie. I didn't catch the name of that one. It looked pretty funny.
It's going with the theme that movies have right now of having like obtuse sentences for titles, like that last one, And So It Goes. That one's called like This Is the Way We Were.
This is When I Leave You, I think is what it was called.
Something like that. It's like all these are having like these like very long artsy like sort of vague sentences for titles.
That one I could see sitting through, And So It Goes. I wouldn't. I'd bitch about it.
Well, that Bateman one, it just looks like if they made a slightly funnier, slightly less depressing, like Dan in Real Life.
I thought like what was that movie where all the 30-something friends got together at their friend's funeral? Was it called 30-somethings, or am I confused? And like there was the one couple that was infertile, and so then their friend impregnated the wife. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Best Man Holiday? I don't know.
No, it was from the 80s. Someone in the comments maybe will know what I'm talking about. Do me a solid and write it down. I've got...
The TV show 30-something?
No, it was a movie. I promise it was a movie.
I think that show was actually based off a movie.
Maybe it was the movie 30-somethings. I watched it on TV one time. I thought it was kind of cute. Dumb and Dumber. I'm sick of talking about that movie.
Yeah, no, that...
It's just...
Stay at home and watch the first one if you really fucking
Embarrassing
want to.
comedies. Wedding Ringer. Okay, well, Kevin Hart's in everything right now. But
Yeah.
this had Josh Gad in it, and I'm sorry. I like him because of Book of Mormon, but I know a lot of people don't, so giving him the lead in a movie is a bit of a risky maneuver. So we'll see how that goes.
For me, this looked like, hey, you've seen Bridesmaids. Now watch one that's basically should have been just titled Groomsmen.
Hey! Oh, I forgot his name. Who's the Sweat the Small Stuff? Paul Blart Mall Cop.
You threw so many names at me, I got lost. Kevin James.
Kevin James is getting on in years. Here's a different chubby, stupid-looking guy.
Yeah. This is Hitch 2.
It is Hitch 2.
With new white guy, new black guy.
They shrunk the black guy. Okay. The Interview. Parentheses, Kill Korea.
I am looking forward to that because A, it just looks really fun. I fucking loved This Is the End. Mm-hmm. I love watching movies with those two in it. Those two are a magical team.
They have a bromance. They're the only people that are allowed to still use that term.
And I really like the fact that apparently, like, you know, the higher-ups in, like, North Korea are really pissed off that this movie is being
You don't say!
shown, but did mention that, that Kim Jong-un is going to watch the film. So Seth Rogen's pleased about that. He's like, alright, I hope he likes it.
Well, his dad was a fan of cinema, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he'll like it. This movie.
It's like, I specifically remember this from that.
Him.
I specifically remember this from that episode of Kid Notorious.
That's why I know that. So yes, Kid Notorious.
Although that was based
Watch
off...
Kid Notorious instead of that movie.
Yeah, but that was based off basically true story.
Mm-hmm. So presumably Martha Stewart actually has a heart-shaped ass.
Presumably.
I've only ever seen her in like khakis. And Let's Be Cops.
Oh yeah, that was a new trailer for that one. I fucking really want to see that.
I want to see it.
It's basically
I love Jake Johnson.
it's basically the Coach and Nick Miller movie.
Only they make a really bad decision to be cops. And it seems like this is the kind of comedy I like, where there's no repercussions for anyone.
Fuck no!
We're gonna dress up like cops. Super illegal. We're gonna pretend to pull guns at each other at a cafe. No one gets arrested.
Well, because they're cops.
Yes. Let's have been cops. Past plural imperfect.
Grammar police. That one.
It's time travel. Carry on, B.
Time Cop?
Yes. Let's be time cops.
I would watch.
I would watch that movie.
Oh my god, I would watch that in a minute.
Yeah, I'm out of stuff.
Let's be time cops.
Let's be time cops. I still didn't come up with a good Slaver Brian joke for your whooping reference, and you softballed it right at me, so I'm a little disappointed in myself.
Let's see here.
Have you got one? Did your dad give you a whooping because you refused to admit your name was Toby? No?
No, I don't like that one.
Yeah, it's-
Something about, like, my grandfather having a car dealership. Something more whips than the South.
What?
Because a car is a whip, you see.
Dude, my dad owns a dealership.
My dad owns a dealership? Like, you don't even know.
You should probably help me, dude. My dad owns a dealership. Just cut this like 5 minutes before now.
No, leave this in there. People in the comments, help her out. She needs a good one.
Yeah, help
also,
me out.
Wow.
Or tweet at boxcar_Sarah at twitter.com. Bye.
Hashtag shameless plug.